Hello and welcome to this lesson on the tune Eleanor Plunkett. This was written by Turlough O'Carolan in the 1700s and it's a beautiful slow Irish air. The idea with an air is to play it really slowly with lots of feeling. The term is rubato, which means robbed in Italian, and we kind of steal timing from some bars and put it into others. So what that actually means in real terms is that we can slow down and stop and speed up a little bit and absolutely do what we like to wring every shred of emotion and feeling out of the tune. What we're going to do first time through is to play the tune without any left hand. So purely the tune, nothing else, and we can really get that rubato style going there. And then the second time through, when we put the chords in, perhaps we'll be a little bit more structured with our timing. I would urge you obviously to print the music out that I've sent you, and also to print out the instructional notes, because I go through the tune bar by bar and giving you little hints and tips. So that's a very useful thing to have printed out. Feel free to step over the next bit and go to the timing indicated on the screen now if you know all my general stuff. If you don't, obviously watch this next bit. But skip to the timing on the screen now to go straight to the tuition of the tune. So some general stuff to start with. On my music, if the tune is in the key of G major, all the notes on the G row have a normal head and all the notes on the D row have a diamond head, and so that you can see at a glance which row the note is on. We're going to be counting in threes, kind of a waltz, but nothing as structured as a regular waltz, but you know, it is generally 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. On my music, if you see these dagger symbols, it means that you can play the note just by reversing the bellows from the previous direction, so you don't have to repress the button. On top of the music you can see the basses. If you see a capital letter, that's a bass note, one of these things. And if you see a lowercase letter, that's a bass chord, one of those things. The minor chords I write out with a capital letter because I think a little E and an M for E minor looks a bit weird. If you see N.C. above a note, it means there's no chord, there's no accompaniment at that point. If I want you to play the Ds at this end of the melodeon, I put an asterisk by them. We call this end the chin end, and this end is the knee end, because we get Ds on the push at this end and on the pull at that end. Remember, the C, bass and C chord you get on the push and on the pull. Sometimes you need to change your right hand position, okay? And if I want you to do that, I put that in italics, in brackets, up 1, down 2, that kind of thing. I will explain it bar by bar. And also the tiny numbers by the heads of the notes are the right hand fingers. Finger number 1 is the index finger, finger number 4 is the little finger, okay? The thumb doesn't count, it's not like the piano. In the piano the thumb is number 1, not so with the melodeon. And underneath the bars you've got the bellows directions. If there's only one direction in the bar, that means to say that it's that direction for the entire bar, or for a series of notes. I only put the change where it's necessary, otherwise you've got too many pushes and pulls all over the place. I know a lot of people think of piano accordions and melodeons as being endless pa instruments and not capable of producing sensitive kind of music, but that is actually not true at all, and hopefully I can show you that with this tune. So first time through, like I said, we're going to play just the right hand, but I will go through the left hand after I've gone through the right hand. Normally I do both together, but I want to really concentrate on this right hand to start with. So the first little bar there is not the first bar, it's actually what we call a pickup bar, and it's called bar naught. So don't think of it as bar number 1. Bar number 1 is the next bar. You will count 1, 2, 3 and coming on, 3 and. Those two notes are quavers and they fill up that third beat of that sort of bar naught, if you want to call it that. Now the two notes in question are G on the G row and A on the D row. Notice normal head for the G row note and diamond head for the D row note. Fingers 1 and 3, so it's nice and comfortable. So So 1, 2, 3, and I'll probably play these bars in a fairly kind of normal timing, but when I perform it, you'll see that I'm going to be really spreading out the timing and putting lots of feeling into it. So you've ended up at the end of bar 0 on this note, which is A, third finger. Now the first thing in the next bar, bar number 1, is a tiny little grace note, and it's that note you've just played, and you're going to play that note just ahead of the first big note in that bar. So that little A, it looks like a quaver with a strike through. It's called a grace note, and it's a crushed in note. It's played so that it has no value. So you could just play, you could go straight to that minim B there on the G row, finger 2, but it's actually like that. Now that main note there, the B, is a minim, like I said, it lasts for 2 beats. So it's 1, 2, 3, and. Now on 3 and, what you do is you reverse that grace note and main note. So the B becomes the grace note and the A becomes the main note. So you've just gone, and then you've gone the other way around. So fingers 3 and 2, and then 2 and 3, and then you return to that G where you started the tune. So bar 1 is. Notice so far everything has been on the push. So you have 1, 2, 3, and 1, 2, 3, and. Yeah? Like that. Now, it's up to you how far you separate the grace note from the main note. Some people like it really close. I quite like it so I can actually hear the grace note. Like that. I don't like to crush it in too much because I kind of think it defeats the object if you can't really hear the note.